Hey guys, Ellis here, coming at you with a new video, a new scout report video. This episode will be on Cristian Pavon, and yeah, I'm just going to jump straight into it. Okay, so as I said, this video will be on Cristian Pavon. He is a right or left winger who currently plays for Boca Juniors. He's Argentinian, he's 22 years old, and the stats that I'll be going off for this video will be from the 2017-18 season. And I'll be comparing him to Leroy Sané. So Pavon last season made 26 league appearances in Argentinian Premier League. In these games, he produced 11 assists and scored 6 goals. Compared this to Sané, who got 10 goals and 15 assists, which is a really strong output for a young player. When it comes to Pavon stats, I mean 6 goals is okay from a winger. You want your winger to be, you'd normally see a winger scoring between 5 and 10 goals in a league season, in a full league season anyway. And then once they start getting between sort of 10 to 15 markers, when you're like, okay, this wing is actually really producing quite a lot. And I mean, 11 assists as well for a winger, especially an inside forward. The Pavon plays like an inside forward. He likes to cut inside, so 11 assists from an inside forward is very strong. Those are sort of numbers that you'd see from like a Mane or a Salah at Liverpool, being some sort of more striker options. All these stats though mean that Pavon was averaging a goal involvement every 134 minutes, whereas Sané's was every 96 minutes. So, Pavon was having a goal contribution sort of every half a game more than Sané. So I think Sané was averaging a goal involvement every game, pretty much won a game, whereas Cristian Pavon was slightly less than that, probably about 0.8. But that's 17 goal involvements in 26 league appearances is a massive output for a winger. Normally you'd look for about 15 goal involvements to 20, so he's right in that area, which is quite a strong thing to look at when it comes to a young winger. His shot numbers are pretty good too. I mean, he was averaging 2.5 shots per game, with 11 being on being inside the box. So they're being, they're coming from good areas, being inside the box. 1 shot per game being inside the box. That means he's having, a shot from inside the box is a good chance, always a good chance. Players, strikers and wingers these days, if they're having a shot inside the box, they're at least going to be on target. Whereas compared to Sané, who was having 1.8 shots per game, with 1.1 being inside the box. So you can kind of see there that looking at these stats is that Pavon, he's not being as clinical at the moment compared to Sané. He's having, he's having 0.7 more shots than him a game, but only the same amount inside the box. Sané almost scored double the amount of goals he scored this season. So that's one thing to look at, that Pavon's clinicalness in front of goal and calmness does need to improve. But I mean, he's 22, he's far from the finished article. Obviously Sané is also young, but he's just a freak of nature. He's so good in an attacking sense. So, that comparison you've got to kind of take with a pinch of salt. Pavon was obviously averaging, he was also averaging 1.9 key passes per game, compared to Sané's 1.8 key passes per game, which is actually a really high. When you think about Sané last season, you think of him more as a creator than a goal scorer for Man City. So the fact that Pavon was creating more chances for his teammates per game shows the level of creativity that Pavon actually possesses. And I mean, obviously a key pass represents a chance that was leading to a goal scoring opportunity. So obviously Sané was setting up, putting Aguero and Jesus through all season. Pavon was setting up, I think his name is Benedetto, who actually had a really good season. But 11 assists is very strong, and these key passes, the key passes number shows why he had such high assist numbers. Dribbling wise, he was averaging 4.9 dribbles per game, with 2.5 being completed, which is again a really high a really high amount of dribbles. So that's pretty elite numbers. I mean, I think he was completing 2.5. I think Neymar last season was completing 4. Mane and Salah were completing almost 3 each. So 2.5, he's very close to sort of the elite winger levels in terms of dribbling. When you compare this with Sane, he was averaging 4.1 passes per game and completed 2.7 of those. So Sane had a slightly higher completion rate, but it was still pretty close. And when you think about Sane last season, he was driving down a byline and getting past his player. So Pavon is a similar ilk to that. He has very similar completion stats and amount of dribbles per game. So when you look at Sane, you can imagine how Pavon would be. Also, it helps. He's got a very, very low centre of gravity. Pavon. He's a very, very smaller player. So when he's taken on his man, it's very easy. You think of the way Messi dribbles. From the videos I've seen, it's similar to that, where he's so small, he can really move his body, he's really agile. And all these stats, the key passes, the dribbles, the shots from outside and inside the box. It's a really, really promising thing to see from a young winger. I mean, I said he's an inside forward. I do think he's reasonably 2-footed as well, because I have seen a lot of clips where he does go to the byline and cross it in. And I'm assuming that's where he actually gets the majority of his assists. But I mean, again, I got to reiterate, those assists they're really, really strong. 11 assists for a season. Any player that gets into double figures for assists in a season is always classed as one of the best creative talents in that league. Think Mesut Ozil in the Premier League, Toni Kroos in the La Liga. All these sorts of players that get into double figures, they're all, quite hyped up. And Pavon, 11 assists is a really, really strong, high number. And with potential to for more, I mean, 1.9 key passes per game. That means that, if each one of those chances were put away, he could have been on about 40 assists. So, obviously, I think only probably about a third of key passes actually put away. I have just completely ripped that statistic out of thin air. I don't know if that's true. That's just what I would imagine, considering the high amount of key passes that are completed in a game. But 1.9 key passes a game, if he had a world-class striker in front of him, like Aguero, for instance, at least one of those key passes a game is getting put in. So he has potential. If these key pass numbers stay up, he has the potential to be one of the best creative wingers probably around, or at least a very elite creative winger. Okay, so Pavon, in my opinion, I do think he's got a very, very high ceiling. He's very technically proficient with his passing and his dribbling. So there's his shots. He takes a lot of shots from outside the box, 1.6 per game, and a lot of them actually are on target. Them sort of shots where the inside forward cuts inside, about 25 yards out, and he's hitting him with his right boot or his left boot. Like I said, he's very two-footed, and they're at least going on target. Which, you look at Malcolm, who's just signed for Barcelona. He does a very similar thing where he gets a lot of shots on target from outside the box. He's also a very, very he's like an effortless player. When you watch these players that just drift past people, they don't do any specific sort of they don't do stuff the hard way. It's so easy to watch, and he just makes dribbling and just overall play so easy. He's also one of these players that you see from South America where they just kind of take the mickey out of the defenders. I've seen clips of him doing step overs past players, doing flip flaps, doing all these sort of tricks past players, and just effortlessly doing them as well. It's not like you don't see him, try and nutmeg and it hits the player's leg, and everything he wants to do, he pulls off pretty well and pretty effortlessly. And I mean, all that means he's been linked with such a host of clubs over the summer. I think Arsenal scouted him, Sevilla scouted him, Barcelona scouted him. I think I saw Man United scouted him, but then they scout everyone. City scouted him. PSG, I know, had quite a strong interest in him. So, these big clubs are kind of coming sniffing around him. And I do think currently, after Lautaro Martinez left Argentina, I do think he's probably the best young talent currently playing in Brazil. Luckily, for Boca Juniors, the summer transfer window went and no one actually signed Pavon. But I do believe he will move in the future. And I think whoever team do sign him will be getting a very, very strong player. Alright, so thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed. If you did enjoy, please like and comment and subscribe. If you do subscribe, click the notification bell. I do see that a lot of you watching are unsubscribed, and I do produce this football content often. That being said, I'm hoping that you guys made it to the end of the video, because I do put a lot of effort into these videos, and you know, it's a nice feeling for me to know that you are watching the video. So if you did get to the end of this video, comment something random, just so I know. And yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Bye.